I was overthinking on how I wanted to pay off my 6 figures of student loan debt, did I want to do the debt snowball? Did I want to do the debt avalanche? What app did I need? How would I get on my budget? I was constantly overthinking because I just wanted to pay off the debt right away, and so I couldn't afford to make a mistake. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dielle Charon and I'm the founder for the 23%. 23% of business owners are women of color and we're here to grow that number. And in this series, we're talking about Black Millionaire Mindset, what I had to learn, what I had to achieve, how I had to shift my mindset in order to be a wealthy Black woman. And today we're talking about overthinking. If Black women and women of color know how to do one thing, it's overthink, and I'm talking about myself. So when I was growing my business, I used to overthink every little thing. What was going to be my niche? What was going to be my handle? What was I going to say to a client? What was I going to do when I had the client? What should my prices be? And I would just ruminate and ruminate all the time. And it would keep me stuck, and it would lower my vibration, lower my confidence. And I didn't see any benefits from overthinking, but yet I couldn't stop overthinking. So in this video, I'm going to share how you can think about overthinking differently, how it's actually a mask for other emotions that you're experiencing, and what you need to do to stop overthinking. So the first thing is overthinking is often a sign of protection. Your brain wants to make sure that the answer is right the first time, because if it's wrong, something bad will happen. I noticed this when I was trying to create content online. I was constantly overthinking because if I posted the wrong post, then I wouldn't sign a client and I wouldn't be able to quit my job and I wouldn't be able to build wealth, and then it snowballed there after there after there. So I realized that overthinking wanted me in my head. It wanted me spinning my wheels. It did not want me to actually take the action. We think that overthinking is clarity. It's making sure that we're being intentional and wise and smart and making sure that we're using everything we learn before we take the action. But in reality, it just doesn't want us to take the action. It doesn't want us to make the post. It doesn't want us to make a decision on our pricing. It doesn't want us to start the budget. It doesn't want us to start investing. It's designed to make sure that we're protecting ourselves from actually going forward. But the whole point of building wealth is doing the actions. The whole point of having a successful business is actually moving forward. So every time I realized I was overthinking, I would catch myself to be like, oh, that's actually a sign that I need to take an action. My brain wants to overthink. That means I probably should take an action that it doesn't want me to take, but an action that will get me the results that I want. So a hack that I use, and Mel Robbins talks about this, is counting down. So when I would be overthinking, I would count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I would go and take the action. I would go and make the decision. I would go and make the choice. And then on the other side of it, I realized that I didn't die. Nothing bad happened because I actually decided to make the decision. So think about, what is your overthinking protecting you from? What is it thinking that it's going to be doomsday if you make the wrong choice? Like if you press the red button or the blue button, something terrible is going to happen. And realizing that nothing bad is going to happen if you make a decision. The only negative thing that's going to happen is you're actually just going to learn. You're going to learn how to do something differently. You're going to learn how to actually fix your mistakes. And failing is way more important than overthinking. We think that overthinking is protecting us, but actually it's making things worse. It's amping ourselves up. It's having us overanalyze things, versus if we were just to take the action and fail and learn, we will know clearly without a shadow of a doubt, okay, that didn't work. I need to do something different, versus analyzing in our head and it's still a guess. So when I just decide on my price and people bought it or they didn't, that was way more valuable than me overanalyzing in my head. So where's your overthinking just protecting you, and you need to go into learning mode instead? The second thing I learned about overthinking is that if you're overthinking, you're likely in a rush, which is so counterintuitive because overthinking is taking time within itself. And so when I was overthinking on how I wanted to pay off my 6 figures of student loan debt, did I want to do the debt snowball? Did I want to do the debt avalanche? What app did I need? How would I get on my budget? I was constantly overthinking because I just wanted to pay off the debt right away. And so I couldn't afford to make a mistake. I couldn't afford to waste my time on the wrong debt strategy. I couldn't afford to waste my time on the wrong app. But in reality, the overthinking was just delaying my progress anyways. It was just making things longer anyways. It was just making things harder anyways. So start to be aware that overthinking often means that you're in a rush and you're trying to get something fast, but actually you're slowing down your progress. What will be the fastest thing to do is just to go and make the decision, learn from it, and go from there. Overthinking will delay your progress longer than just failing over and over again. I would rather you fail 30 times. You'll get so much more insight. You'll get so much more data. You'll actually learn what to do and not do faster than analyzing it in your head, like what we talked about earlier. I would rather you fail and test things out. You'll get more data and move faster than if you sit in your head and you overthink. And then the last thing that's also very counterproductive is that overthinking will have you miss the basics. When we're overthinking, we're often fixated on one small thing and we're like, is this right? Is this right? Is this right? And we're not putting everything into context. So then we miss the basics. I see this happen in entrepreneurship so much. People are so fixated on their Instagram bio or so fixated on what type of link to use in their link tree that they forget to post, right? Or they forget to create content consistently. It stops the entire process. It slows down the entire process and they forget the basics of what it actually will take to get the result that they want. So every time I go into overthinking mode, I know that I'm missing the bigger picture. I'm missing other steps that I need to do and that I shouldn't then go and overthink all those other steps, but I need to remember that me hyperfixating on this one thing is slowing down everything else. So again, instead of overthinking, I would rather take a broader approach, make sure I'm doing all of the steps of the process, all of the steps of the budget, all of the steps of the content, all of the steps on actually having wealth as a woman of color versus fixating on one and trying to perfect that little thing over and over and over again. That's why I love B- work instead of not even turning in the assignment. I would rather you get a B- on the assignment versus not doing the assignment at all. Which one will be better for your GPA? So the next time you're overthinking, I want you to be honest with yourself and ask, is overthinking helping you? Thank you so much for coming to this video and tuning into the series. I'll see you in the next one.